We will be doing a lesson in scholarship English for standard 8th, and I will be doing most of the lessons in scholarship English for standard 8th with you. Okay, and the topic for today will be part of the vocabulary section in your portion. So if you look at your textbook, children, you will see that it is divided into 7 units. Okay, and the first unit is vocabulary, where you have synonyms, you have find out the words which mean, you have antonyms, you have formation of words, and you have phrases, that is phrasal verbs and noun phrases. Contextual meaning of words you have, forming words using clues you have, and abbreviations. So we are going to look at point number 5 according to my book, that is I'm using Navneet publication book for reference. You can make use of the Pragati book, you can make use of the Vikas publication book. All right, so this is the 5th point in your section 1 or unit 1 on vocabulary. So we are going to talk about phrases, that is phrasal verbs and noun phrases. We will look at what the meaning of these two terms are. We are going to look at a number of examples, and also we will try and see the kind of questions which will come in your question paper for scholarship. So there are basically 6 types of questions that can be asked on this topic. So we will do 1 or 2 questions for practice based on these 6 types of questions. Okay, so that will be a long lesson today. We have to learn what the meaning of phrasal verbs is, what is the meaning of noun phrases, and there are 2 small things which are an extra part of this lesson which I will be telling you. We will discuss in short about what are adjective phrases and what are adverb phrases also, because as we are talking about noun phrases, we should know a little bit about the other 2 also, which are important as far as phrases are concerned. Okay, so let us start and let us try and understand what the meaning of the first point, that is phrasal verbs, are. So you know what are verbs, children? All of us know what are verbs. So a verb is something which does an action. Okay, whenever an action is done, whenever you're doing something and there is a word which shows that you're doing something, then that word is a verb. So we have been doing this since a very young class, and now we know what the meaning of a verb is. So what is phrasal verb? What is the meaning of phrasal verbs? So a phrasal verb is a phrase. Now, do you know the meaning of a phrase, children? A phrase means when 2 or more words are taken together, but they may not have a complete meaning. Okay, they are part of a sentence. So a phrasal verb is a phrase that is made up of a verb and 1 or 2 more words. So when we say a phrasal verb, means a verb in a phrase. So a phrasal verb will have 1 verb and it may have 1 or 2 or more words. Okay, now what could be these other words? Let us see. So the other words which are there along with the verb in the phrasal verb could be an adjective, it could be an adverb, or it could be a preposition. That is why I said we will look at adjective phrases also and we will look at adverb phrases also quickly, so that you get a complete idea of this point. Okay, so once again, what is a phrasal verb? It is a phrase which is made up of a verb and which is made up of 1 or 2 more words. And these other words, they could be adjectives, they could be adverbs, or they could be prepositions. And phrasal verbs are used as verbs. They play the role of verbs in a sentence. Okay, so this is about the meaning of phrasal verbs. Of course, we will look at examples also so that the idea is clear to you. Let us go to the next point now. That is, let us talk about noun phrase. What is a noun phrase? So a noun phrase consists of a noun and other related words. So a noun phrase will have a noun for sure, and it will have some other related word or words. And these other words are usually modifiers. Modifiers means they could be adjectives, they could be adverbs also, and determiners, that means they could be prepositions, okay, which modify the noun. So when there is a noun along with an adjective or along with an adverb or along with a preposition, then that becomes a noun phrase. And a noun phrase functions like a noun in a sentence. So a noun phrase will function like a noun. All right, simple. So there are some examples of noun phrases here. So let us try and analyze them now. So a nice red shirt. So in this, a nice red is actually an adjective which is describing the shirt. But when you write it together, a nice red shirt, it becomes a noun phrase. A noun and other related words. A glass full of water. So a glass full is describing or modifying the noun water. Okay, so this you can say is a noun phrase. A man on the roof. So which man are you talking about? We are talking about the man on the roof. So the noun is man, and we are giving more meaning. We are modifying the meaning of the man by saying that he is the man not walking on the road, but he is the man on the roof. Okay, children? So this is the meaning of noun phrases. Now let us look at some examples of noun phrases. So you can pick up the noun here and you can pick up whether the other word is an adjective. Most of them are adjectives only in this example. So see the three musketeers. So the three is the adjective which is describing the musketeers. Okay, so we have the noun phrase. When you take it together and when you call it as a phrase, this becomes a noun phrase, the three musketeers. So like I told you earlier, children, a phrase is a group of words. A sentence is also a group of words. But remember, a phrase is a group of words which may not have an independent meaning. It is part of a sentence. All right. Then we have a gold ring, where gold is the adjective which is describing or which is modifying the noun ring. A class of excellent. Who? Students. So the noun is students. A beautiful little. Who? Girl. Okay. My pen. Whose pen? My pen. Alright. So this is how you pick up noun phrases. This is how you try to identify a noun phrase in a sentence. A noun phrase will be one where there is a noun and there is an adjective or there is an adverb to go along with it. Okay. Now the other examples. A Coca-Cola bottle, the best school in the area, a disappointed parent, any question, and the lesson after maths. You will do the work of trying to pick up the noun here and you will try and see what is the factor that is modifying this particular noun. So this is your assignment. Okay, so like a typical lesson, children, at the end of the lesson, I will not give you a lot of questions for assignment. We will keep taking these small questions on assignment as the lesson goes by. Okay, done. So have you understood what the meaning of noun phrases are? And we have done a number of examples also for noun phrases. Now let us move on and let us see the next point in our lesson for today. I told you that adjective phrases are not part of our lesson today, but then if you leave this out, if you leave what adjective phrases are, you might not understand the concept in totality. Okay, so this is just an exercise so that you understand this idea totally. So what is the meaning of an adjective phrase? So an adjective phrase is a group of words that describe a noun or pronoun in a sentence. So what is an adjective, children? An adjective describes the noun or it describes the pronoun, isn't it? We have been learning this when we learn parts of speech. So an adjective describes the noun, or you can say an adjective describes the pronoun. So an adjective phrase will also describe the noun or the pronoun in a sentence. So adjective phrases can be placed before or after the noun or pronoun in a sentence. So very simple to understand that an adjective phrase is a phrase, and phrase means what? A group of words. So an adjective phrase is a group of words that describes a noun or pronoun in a sentence, and the adjective phrase can be placed before the noun or it can be placed after the noun in a sentence, or the pronoun, as the case might be. Moving on, let us look at the examples of adjective phrases here. So the girl in the red t-shirt is my little sister. Okay, so who is my little sister? The girl. But which girl? In the red t-shirt. So that is an adjective phrase. Okay, are the shoes under the chair yours? So if I say, are the shoes yours? I am not talking about any particular shoe or any particular pair of shoes. When I say, are the shoes under the chair yours? So I am being specific. Which shoes? The shoes which are lying under the chair. Look at the third example. The woman on the boat is my Aunt Carol. So who's aunt? Who's my aunt? The woman. But which woman? The one who's on the boat. Okay, so here we are giving more description to the noun. Susan is clever. She seemed extremely present. The movie was not too terribly long. So these are all examples of adjective phrases. Okay, this is just for your understanding. In this particular topic, we are not talking about adjective phrases. We are talking only about noun phrases. So the questions that we solve will be revolving around noun phrases. Okay, but try to understand this point also. It is important. What about an adverb phrase now? So an adverb phrase refers to a phrase that often plays the role of telling us when, where, why or how an event occurred. So you know what an adverb is? An adverb modifies the verb. What is the verb? The action is the verb. So when you say, I went to school, so went here is the action. And in the morning, then in the morning is modifying the went. When did you go to school? In the morning. Okay, so the adverb phrase modifies the meaning of the verb. It tells us when, where, why or how an event occurred, in which the adverb functions as the head word of the phrase. Look at the examples here. We are expecting him to come next year. So you're expecting him to come, which is to come here is the infinitive. Okay, and expecting is the verb. But when are you expecting him to come? Next year. He ran. So ran here is the verb. How did he run? In what manner? How? Very quickly. So that is the adverb phrase. Okay, children, let us look at a few more examples of adverb phrases and then we will go to our question answer practice session for today. So baseball has become very popular in our town. So in our town is the phrase here, and in our town means it is describing where baseball has become popular. Where? So it is an adverb phrase of place. Where? Okay? So in our town. So all these words which are underlined, all of them are adverb phrases. We are just going to find out which kind of adverb phrase they are. The flowers will bloom in spring. So what do you think this is? What is it trying to say? It is trying to say when the flowers will bloom. So it is the adverb phrase of time. When. Helen did not go to school on account of the bad weather. Okay? So on account of the bad weather means the reason why Helen did not go to school on account of the bad weather. On account of the bad weather means because of the bad weather. So here it is an adverb phrase of reason. Why? So where will mean place, when will mean time, why will mean reason. My brother spoke in a condescending manner. Condescending means in a manner which was not appropriate, which was maybe not very polite, which was little rude, little insulting. Okay, so my brother spoke in a condescending manner. So this is describing how my brother spoke. How? So it is an adverb phrase of manner. How? Okay, and look at the last one. For many years she has been waiting for this opportunity. So she has been waiting for this. For how long? Okay, so it says, talks about the extent. For how long has she been waiting? She has been waiting for many years. So it is an adverb phrase of extent. Alright children, so this was about the important phrases in English grammar. That is, we talked about phrasal verbs, we talked about noun phrases, and we did a quick, you can say, look over about what is the meaning of adjective phrase and adverb phrase. Now let us go to our questions for today. So we are going to pick up the pattern, which is going to be the pattern for your scholarship examination, and we will try and solve a few questions. So I told you we have around 6 types of questions, categories of questions which might come up in this type of exercise. Okay, so we will look at a few examples from each category of questions. So are you ready? So before we go to the questions, let me tell you that you can play the question. All right, you see, you can come up to this stage. You can look at the options as well. You can look at the option numbers for your answers, and then you can pause the video. You can try to figure out the answer. You should try to figure out the answer, and then you can check with the answer that I will give you. All right, so don't make this a ready-made session. Now children, whenever we do scholarship through the virtual class, I remember it used to be very interesting because we used to organize a kind of quiz between schools. Do you all remember? So we used to have schools playing against each other, and then at the end of the session I used to declare the results also. But unfortunately in this video format that is not going to happen. Okay, so you set a target for yourself that okay, if teacher is going to ask me, going to show me 12 questions, I will try to get 10 out of 12. So this is a target which you're going to set for yourself. And after each question you're going to wait, and you're not going to see the answer ready-made. Okay, that's a promise you have to make to me, and you will be checking the answer and then trying to verify whether your answer is correct. All right, so on that note of promise, let us move on and read the question. So she was intelligent and got through the exam without difficulty. You have to identify the phrasal verb in the sentence. Now remember, when I say phrasal verb, it means that it should have a verb and it should have an adverb or a preposition. Okay, so let us look at the example. So she was. So one is a pronoun, and then there is no question here. We do not have any verb here. Okay, without difficulty also you do not have any verb here. So then how do you identify? Look at got through. Yes, got through. That looks like a possible answer. The exam, that also we can rule out. So what do you think the answer is? So answer is option number 3, got through. Why? Because a phrasal verb consists of a verb plus an adverb or a preposition. Okay, so got is the verb, through is the preposition. Alright, so this is the first question for us today. Let's move on to the next question. So the type of question is the same, the category of question is the same. Identify the correct phrasal verb in the sentence. Remember children, this is a small tip. Whenever you go to write an answer for a scholarship question, read the question properly. Try to understand what answer is expected from you. Do not blindly answer. Okay? Read. Sometimes they will say identify the incorrect phrasal verb. So there you will end up writing the wrong answer. So be careful to read the question and find out what is expected of you in the question. So the second is also the same category. Category number 1, identify the correct phrasal verb in the sentence. So see, the door being stuck, we couldn't get out of the car. Okay, let's look at the options. Get out of, being stuck, we couldn't get. So remember, a phrasal verb has got a verb plus it has got an adverb and a preposition, isn't it? So let's see which could be the answer. So our answer is answer number 1, get out of. Verb plus preposition, get out of. Alright. Next, same pattern of question. Identify the correct phrasal verb in the sentence. Hold on a minute till I get my umbrella. Options: till I get, on a, hold on, my umbrella. I think this is rather simple. Okay, you are just supposed to find out where the verb plus preposition or verb plus adverb is. So is it 1, 2, 3 or 4? Yes, it's 3. Hold on. Okay children, so these were the 3 questions from pattern number 1 of the type of questions. Let's go to pattern number 2. Okay, question pattern type 2. Pick out the correct phrasal verb to fill in the blank. So see here, you're supposed to fill in the blanks and not identify. Okay, so you will have to choose. Let us look at the question. He told me to go ahead. He would dash later. So what should come in this dash? So should it be catch in, catch up, catch or catch up? So this catch up has been repeated here by mistake. So let's check what the answer is. It is answer number 2, catch up. Okay, catch up. He told me to go ahead. He would catch up later. Catch up means he will get the details from me or he will talk to me later. Moving on to the same category of question, but one more example. Pick out the correct phrasal verb to fill in the blank. Can you dash tonight for dinner? So can you come over? Can you come in? Can you come forth? Or coming over? So what do you think? Will it be can you come over for dinner? Can you come in for dinner? Can you come forth for dinner? Or can you coming over for dinner? So it is answer number 1. Can you come over tonight for dinner? One more example from the same pattern. Be careful, you may dash that box. You may fall for that box. You may falling in that box. You may falling over that box, or you may fall over that box. So the answer will be fall over that box. Okay, fall over means you might trip on that box and you might fall. Okay, so this was category 2 of the type of questions that can come. Let's pick up category 3 now, where you're again supposed to identify and not fill in the blank. Okay, so identify the correct noun phrases in the sentence. I would love to do this job. So is it I would, Is it I would love? Is it to do or to do this job? So noun phrase, now you have to identify. So a noun phrase is what? A noun phrase is a group of words that does the work of a noun. So which is it? Is it 1, 2 and the third, the second, the one on the second line? This one is 3, okay? It is somehow, it is a typing mistake. So I would love, or to do this job. So it is the fourth one, to do this job. It acts like a noun. Alright, moving on. I wish to speak to the teacher. So I wish to speak to the teacher. So to speak to the teacher, does that act like a noun? I wish, does that act like a noun? I wish to, does that act like a noun? Or does I act like a noun? So it is the first one, I wish to speak to the teacher, which acts like a noun. Okay, moving on. One more example from this category of identifying the correct noun phrases in the sentence. Please promise to do the job. So yes, now you must have guessed what the answer is. So is it please? Is it to do the job? Is it please promise? Or is it to do? Yes, correct. The answer is the second one, please promise to do the job. Okay. Let's move on and let's go to the next category, next type of question. So properly read the question very carefully. Again, the format of the question has changed, and again the requirement of the question has also changed now. Here you are supposed to pick out 2 correct noun phrases. Okay, not 1 correct noun phrase but 2 correct noun phrases. So if you miss out one and if you mark one correctly, you will not be getting your marks. That is why I said always read the question very carefully. So let us pick out the 2 correct noun phrases. Dash was wrong. So you're supposed to fill in this blank with 2 correct noun phrases, 2 possibly correct answers. Okay. So let us look at the answers. Writing such a letter was wrong. Having written such a letter was wrong. To write such a letter was wrong. To write such a letter was wrong. So which do you think, which 2 answers can fit in here? Yes, answer number 1, writing such a letter was wrong, or answer number 4, to write such a letter was wrong. Both of them are correct. So this is the next category of question, category 4 of question, which can come in your scholarship exam. Next, one more example here. I have forgotten dash. What 2 answers can fit in here? I have forgotten how to knitting. I have forgotten how to knit. I have forgotten how to write letters. I have forgotten how I can knit. So which do you think are the answers? Yes, it is the second option. I have forgotten how to knit. I have forgotten how to write letters. Okay, so I have forgotten how to knitting is the wrong tense altogether here. So you cannot take it as a correct noun phrase. So children, are you getting some clarity on the type of questions which can come? Okay, let's go to one more example here. The girl wanted. So let us see what she wanted to do. How to play cricket. To play cricket. Speak to her mother. To speak to her mother. So when I say the girl wanted how to play cricket, I don't know whether it is right. The girl wanted to play cricket. Yes, this sounds okay. So let us see whether this is one possible answer. Yes, this is one possible answer. The girl wanted speak to her mother. No, that doesn't sound proper. The girl wanted to speak to her mother sounds perfect. So we have two correct noun phrases here. The girl wanted to play cricket. The girl wanted to speak to her mother. Okay children, so this was category 4 of the questions. Let us go to the next category of the question. Pick out the sentence where the phrasal verb has been incorrectly used. So see, reading the question properly is always going to gain you marks. Here you have to look at phrasal verb which has not been correctly used. So if you have 4 options, there will be 1 which is wrong and 3 which are correct. Okay, so come on, let's see. We went to Nashik every year when we were growing up. So this is a phrasal verb. I grew up in a tiny village. So this is a phrasal verb, grew up. Oh, grow yourself up. You're being so childish. So here the phrasal verb is actually grow up, but has it been used correctly? I don't know, we'll have to check. What do you wish to be when you grow up? So the answers, finding out the answers to this, children, is simple. It is not very difficult also. So let us see which could be the possible answer which is not correct. Yes, it is answer number 3 which is not correct, because it should be oh, grow up. Alright, so that yourself is not important. Okay, and it is not needed there also. So that is the wrong one. Next example here, let's see. Let's get off the bus and walk the rest of the distance. 4 people got off the train at the station. Get off the chair at once. He got the train off when he saw his friend. Obvious, I think the answer is, we have all become smart now, isn't it? So yes, it is answer number 4 which is wrong. Sentence number 4 which is wrong. The phrasal verb got off is used here, but it is used incorrectly. He got off the train would have been better, or it would have been the right way to use this phrasal verb. Moving on, now we will go to the 6th or to the last category of question here. Identify the correct meaning of the phrasal verbs given below. Let's check what the meaning of this verb could be. To put up with. So when you are putting up with someone, what are you doing? Are you hanging up? Hanging up means you finish talking on the phone and you disconnect the call. Now see children, hanging up was a phrase which was used when you used to have those old kind of phones where there used to be a big mouthpiece which you used to hang actually. But now we do not use that verb anymore with phones, because phones are all mobile phones now. So to put up means to hang up, or does it mean to tolerate someone? Does it mean to be annoyed or to be angry with someone? Or does it mean to store someone? What does the meaning, what does the phrase to put up with mean? So I think the correct answer is to tolerate. Okay, you can check. Alright, let's move on to the last question of our session for today. So we will take category number 6 and practice it furthermore. So let us look at the verb here, the phrasal verb turn down. So turn down, what does it mean? Does it mean to reject someone? To reject means you are cancelling someone, you do not want someone. Okay, to remove someone, to misplace, to displace someone, you're removing someone from here and keeping it there. Something, to displace something. Or to turn down means to destroy something, or to take a turn, actually to take a turn physically. So what does it mean, turn down? So the phrase turn down means to reject. So how is it used in a sentence? I turned down the offer. Means I rejected the offer. Okay children, so in this lesson for scholarship today, we talked about phrasal verbs, we talked about noun phrases, We also talked about adjective phrases and adverb phrases to just complete the idea and not to leave it incomplete. Then we looked at the exercises and we tried to do some questions. We also took into consideration the 6 types of questions which can come in your exam, and we did examples, a few examples for each type.